Here to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
I'm Brian. I work at United Healthcare.
So, Brian, why do you care?
I care because I don't want to leave anybody behind. I oversee one of the biggest resource centers in United Healthcare. I see people walk in my office every day, just like my parents. They have no idea about the healthcare. I feel like they are my uncles, aunties. I treat these people like family. I'm Brian, and I'm committed to care.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. BetterHelp
and exclusions at carshield.com.
Trevor Rogers off and rolling this afternoon, sprinting over to first base to get a 1-2-3, top of the first at 21.2 and 21.8 feet per second, delivering today's Fast Play of the game brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Play Fast Play Home Run Riches from the Maryland Lottery all season long. So that'll get Baltimore to the plate for the first time against Garrett Crochet, whose first pitch is upstairs and called a strike. Rocking into the windup, the left-hander fires a fastball in the inside corner, and it's quickly 0-2 on Taylor Ward. Flip-flopping with Gunnar Henderson. Night game into the day game today. Ward back in that top spot, DHing today. 0-2, down and in with a breaking ball. Ward bringing along a .419 on base. That is one of the best in Major League Baseball. Overall, in the top 10. He leads Major League Baseball with 13 doubles. 1-2 coming, and a fastball just missed inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Taylor Ward, who was on base 5 times last night. It was his third 4-hit game as an Oriole. That's the most in the major leagues for collecting 4-hit games, too. 2-2 inbound, swinging a foul back. Stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Asked manager Craig Albernaz about Taylor Ward. I said, what is the recipe that you have given him after going through all of his career in Los Angeles, never having a 4-hit game? Now he's got a handful of them, and we're in the first month. The 2-2, swinging a foul back. And we're seeing right here why it is so great. And he's collecting 4-hit games on average, one every other week. And it's the command of the strike zone and the swing decision that he possesses. Said he loves watching Taylor Ward hit. 2-2. Pop-up, shallow left center field. Going back from short, Story makes a basket catch in shallow left center field. A slow developing play on a ball that looked like it had a parachute going into shallow left center field. Durant coming in from left. Rafaela couldn't get there either from center field. It was Story in a do-or-die retreat, and he makes the over-the-shoulder grab as it lands right in the pocket. 1 down. And here comes Gunnar Henderson, who was in that top spot yesterday and cranked his 13th career leadoff home run. Here's the pitch. Fastball is high from Crochet, going lefty on lefty. No score, we're in the first. Crochet with a high leg lift and fires. Fastball over the knees, a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Gunnar Henderson. Henderson opened the scoring last night with that leadoff home run. It was the first by an Oriole going back to early September of last season when Jackson Holliday did it in San Diego. 1-1 from the port sider. Swing and a miss. Chase the elevated fastball. That's the country hardball against the big swing of the Alabama native, Gunnar Henderson. Leads the ball club with 8 home runs. Has 16 RBIs, which is second to Jeremiah Jackson, in his 19. 1-2. Down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last night was quite the luxury for manager Craig Albernaz, too. Not only the 20 hits, not only the 10 runs, not only the 6 home runs, it was the early offensive production. 2-2, swing and a miss. Anderson went after another 4-seamer at 97 miles an hour. And certainly Garrett Crochet looks like he's left his last couple of outings in the rear view. He's induced a couple of elevated fastballs that are enticing enough to jump in front of Taylor Ward and to retire Gunnar Henderson.
So Crochet at 6'6" looks like he's right on top of you if you're the hitter. Funky delivery and setup with that right foot sticking out at kind of an odd angle.
Third base side of the slab to the right-handed batting. Adley Rutschman fires up and away, ball 1. It's an emphatic leg kick. Does a little excavation on top of the slab. Now he's ready to go. Peeks over the mitt, hands dip, rocking the come home. Fly ball straight away center field, circled by Rafaela. Now as it starts to die in shallow right center field, streaking in, it's Abreu to retire Rutschman and the Orioles 1-2-3. 1 in the books here in downtown Baltimore with this early start today with Mother Nature roaring in. We're scoreless after 1 on the Orioles Radio Network.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
If you or a loved one is ever hurt in an accident, don't call the first lawyer you happen to see on TV. Instead, call the law firm that's most qualified to handle the complexities of your case. Or call the firm that won the largest personal injury verdict in Wisconsin history. Or the one with the largest product liability verdict in state history. Or the one that has recovered more million-dollar results than any other firm in Wisconsin. It all happens to be the same firm. Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. Visit habish.com for more information.
Love paying shipping and delivery fees just to wait weeks for your package? We didn't think so. That's why Lowe's delivers fast and free. All My Lowe's Rewards and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members enjoy free.
Well, the Birdland Summer Music Series presented by CFG Bank kicking off Saturday, May 9th at Camden Yards with Nelly. Stay post-game for a live concert from the 3-time Grammy-winning superstar. Get your tickets at Orioles.com/tickets. Ironically, it is getting colder in here as we go along today. 59 degrees at game time. But it looks like both these starting pitchers, Wags, are back to where we are used to seeing them. Crochet and Rogers great after 1.
Couple of left-handers dominating, 6 up and 6 down in this ball game. Trevor Story, the veteran infielder, swings and fouls the first pitch back. That is strike 1. You say Nelly, you say it's getting cold in here versus the anthem that, of course, rocked our youth. I just say, woo-hoo!
Listen to you.
Downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike.
The odds on getting that out of you today were 100-1 coming in. But I led you right there. Nice job, partner.
I told you, bring good coffee. Pitch downstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike on Trevor Story.
Going to have ourselves a highly caffeinated broadcast today. A rather quick turnaround from last night for sure.
No kidding. And by the way, tip of the cap to Charm City. They have shown up in droves. The 2-1 pitch to Story. That falls in for a called strike, and it levels off the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Less than 24 hours of a heads up, shifting a game time forward and back on the clock from 4 o'clock as it's originally scheduled to a high noon tilt. Droves, tens of thousands already at the ballpark. No worse for wear. They're like, oh, you know what? We were coming downtown to have a good time anyway. 2-2 to Story. Popped him up. Foul territory, first base side. That'll glide off into the seats.
Anybody run the 10K this morning and then come to the ball game? I wondered.
I wanted to run through the 10K.
Well,
45 minutes sitting and waiting, trying to get to the ballpark.
They wouldn't let you cross the street, huh?
The 2-2. Swinging a little looper down the right field line, fading near the chalk foul. Bounces in between the line and the tarp up the right field line.
You and I are still getting to know each other off the field, but are you likely to be in a 10K for reals at some point?
How about a 5K? We'll start there.
All right, that's fair.
10K I can get to. 2-2 inbound. Swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup. First strikeout of the afternoon for Trevor Rogers, and he puts Trevor's story in the book, making it 4 in a row to start off his afternoon. For every strikeout by an Orioles pitcher, Autumn Lake Healthcare will donate to the Alzheimer's Association of Maryland in support to fight to strike out Alzheimer.
The one thing the Red Sox are doing here early, they're making Rogers work a little bit. 3 of the 4 batters been up there for 6 pitches.
There's Andrew Monasterio. It's a first pitch strike over his knees.
That series the Red Sox just had with the Yankees, they were, 10, 11 pitches per inning, seemed like every inning.
0-1, starts the square, bluffs the bunt, pulls back and takes low. That got the corners in motion with Alonso and Mayo both playing deep. One. That's down and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Red Sox were swept by the New York Yankees in that 3-game series at Fenway Park. First time in 5 years that New York had gone in and swept any sort of series against the Red Sox. The 2-1. That's vaulted high and deep down the left field line, but it's way out of play. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Monasterio.
Well, for Boston, 8 of their last 10 games now, it's been either no runs at all or 1 or 2. The 3 last night felt like a jackpot for them.
2-2 coming, and it's low. Just missed with a change. Good take by Monasterio.
And another one of these 6-pitch ABs. So even though the Red Sox haven't broken through yet, at least these are more diligent, hard-working kind of ABs early on.
You could sense the frustration in the post-game comments from Alex Cora about a number of things, starting first with the offense. 3-2 inbound, and a fastball line to straightaway center field, racing back to his left. Tavares is on the run, gets to the warning track, and it's by him. Over his head, short hopping the wall. Monasterio can cruise into second with a laser beam double. Just his 7th hit in Boston, his 3rd double, and the first opportunity for the Red Sox to strike. Got a sinker out over the middle of the plate, and he barreled it and hit it hard, pushing Tavares racing back.
Monasterio is a guy that is an interesting pickup for them, coming over from Milwaukee. And he's got it in him to just go on a heater. It's possible if he gets going today, he might stay in the lineup for a little while.
3 players went to the Brewers. 3 players came back, including Monasterio, to the Red Sox. Here's Jaron Duran. First pitch in. A called strike 1.
Monasterio is a last name that drives our audio department nuts. Which is it, mono or stereo?
Right, left, both. 0-1. Check swing by Duran. Did he offer? He did. Peel went to Jansen Visconti, who had the plate last night, that moves up the third base line. Benefit for Trevor Rogers. He's out in front of Duran. No balls and 2 strikes. Duran finding himself in an interesting spot in Alex Cora's lineup today, moving out of the top 3, batting 6th. 5 doubles, 1 home run. He can pick him up and lay him down, too. No score, top of the 2nd. Runner at second for Boston. And the 0-2 pitch. In the air, up the left field line. Circled quickly by Alexander. Racing back goes Mayo, and that ball will land just foul. It was just foul. Alexander went into a headlong dive trying to get there in time. Mayo stayed high, trotting past the completed play. Thankfully for the Orioles, it lands foul. Not by much either.
I had flashbacks. I wasn't here for it last year, but remember when Tommy Pham launched that same dive and we all thought it was a foul ball, ended up it hit the chalk line, and retroactively the game was over on a walk-off.
That was a scorching hot day.
Sounds like there were a lot of those here last year, huh?
Oh, man. It got swampy middle of June all the way to the beginning of September. A couple of days you were dripping through your shoes. Runner at second, and the pitch way outside and low.
So we'll put this day in some amber for you and come back to it in June, July, and August. I like this baseball weather, to be honest with you. Pull on a little sweatshirt or something, you're fine.
Very comfortable day here at the yard. Not a lot of breeze blowing around right now. One out, runner at second. Rogers with a pickoff move back towards second base, sniffed out by Monasterio, and both Page coaches screaming, get back, get back, get back. You know who really loves hitting on a day like today?
Who's that?
Gunnar and Adley. They love a slight little chill and an overcast day, especially in this ballpark. 1-2. On the outside corner, strike three called. A sinker from Rogers freezes Duran, 2 down.
And again, really had to work for it. 33 pitches already just to get through 6 batters. And I'm sure Alex Cora will at least appreciate that. Nice job coming back to get Duran.
There's one of those former Brewers and Caleb Durbin. The pitch. Right over with a fastball called strike. 0-1 on Durbin.
It's a guy that gets hit by a ton of pitches. He kind of snuggles up to that inside corner of the plate. He's not a big guy at all. He's 5'6", but he gets plunked a lot.
5 times already. 0-1. Swing and a tip off into the glove and held by Rutschman.
Last year, he only drew 30 walks, but he was hit by pitches 24 times. So, if, as they say, a walk is as good as a single, yes, by that property, a plunking is as good as a walk. And he had a pretty good OBP for Milwaukee last year.
On base with a .334 clip. He checks his swing and takes low from Rogers. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They gave him too much credit. He's only been tagged twice to this point in the year. Batting 7th today for the Red Sox. We're scoreless in the second. Runner juking around at second base. Who stays. Rogers to the plate. Down and away with a changeup. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Caleb Durbin. Red Sox in the thick of their first real big test in the American League. They have the 3 against the Yankees. They make a pit stop here in Baltimore, and then they'll wrap up the road trip north of the border against the Blue Jays, who are playing better. The 2-2. Line the gap in right center field. That'll put Tyler O'Neill on a dead run, and he can't get there. That ball will land in the warning track, nestle up against the wall. A ringing double by Caleb Durbin gets the Red Sox on the board. Second double of the second inning, and it's 1-0 Boston.
Well, that ball was up, and Durbin was ready. Up above the belt, and he just tomahawked it. No chance for O'Neill to do anything but play it at the base of the wall. Looking at the replay, I mean, that was seriously up by the word Boston on his chest. Up way above the belt.
A 2-out RBI double for Caleb Durbin. His 6th 2-bagger, 8th driven in. Here's Connor Wong. Hitless in his last 7 at-bats. Takes inside ball 1. Wong the backstop this afternoon. Isaiah Connerful left with the number 9 hitter standing out on deck. Look back at second by Rogers. Picks up the target to the plate. And misses up and away. Behind 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Rogers falling behind. Now you know you've got to go in the zone. And the veteran Wong can zero in. Runner takes off for third. Pitch is not called a strike. There's no throw to third. So a stolen base for Durbin. He'll nap his first in Boston.
That was well executed, probably well scouted as well. Excellent secondary lead, and everybody kind of asleep at the switch right there in the infield for the Birds.
Infield stays back in the 3-0, up and away. A 4-pitch walk. That was not the most competitive sequence from Trevor Rogers at all. The one that was the closest is the one that Durbin took off on, and it was down and in.
I think a great mound visit here. First, it was Rutschman coming out from behind the plate. Drew French, the pitching coach, on his way as well. Just to kind of get things reassembled right now for Trevor Rogers. You don't want to let things snowball, and that's what happened to him in that one bad inning last time out in Cleveland.
He's already crested 40 pitches. He's recorded 5 outs, and now he's in more of a pickle. Second and A double by Monasterio and then doubled in by Caleb Durbin. And now, after a double by Durbin, and a swipe at third base, they're on the corners. And Isaiah Kiner-Falefa coming up.
That's the little guys getting it done. Durbin at 5'6". Wong was recalibrated as part of the ABS measurement down to 5'10", demoted from a 6'1" lie. And here is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who's only 5'10". So these little guys against the 6'5", 215 Rogers are getting it done.
Kiner-Falefa on the right side. Rogers deals after the mound visit and paints the up and out. A called strike. Long time in the big leagues for Kiner-Falefa, a Ranger, a Yankee, a Pirate, twice a Blue Jay, and now a Red Sox. Pitch inbound. Right over for a called strike. Out in front 0-2 after the 4-pitch walk. That's the rebound you want. Now try to get out of this jam. Trailing 1-0.
Number 9 batter. He's hitting a $179. Go get him.
No extra base hits either. Rogers comes idle. The pitch. Popped him up. Behind the plate, Rutschman holding the mask, watches it sail in front of us and land in the seats.
We talk about Kiner-Falefa as being somewhat diminutive. He was literally 5'2" when he was scouted back in Hawaii. And then he added 6 inches, 30 pounds in a 1-year growth spurt, had himself a contract. But even now, only 5'10".
Rutter jukes down the third base line. Rogers picks up the target and deals and misses outside with a changeup. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caleb Durbin is doing everything in his power trying to disrupt something with Trevor Rogers. Whether it's an extra glance, whether it's a shake, trying to steal a run maybe with a balk, or at least disrupt the rhythm. On to the plate, the 1-2 with the runner going for first. Lined out a play to the right.
There's a lot of Dustin Pedroia in Durbin, isn't there? There's the way he bounces around like that, makes a pest of himself. What a tremendous career he had. Talking about a little guy that could get things done.
One of the all-time best in the clubhouse and on the diamond. 1-2 from Rogers. Changeup down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gap open in left center field, expecting Kiner-Falefa to play the opposite way. Tavares and O'Neill pinch together, and center and right. First and third for Boston. Another pitch from Rogers, and a line drive base hit into left field. That'll drive home Durbin. Rounding second, Wong is on his way to third. It's an RBI single by Kiner-Falefa, who drives in his third of the season. It's the second run knocked in by Boston off of Trevor Rogers here in the second, and Boston's out in front by a pair.
Well, it's another ball left up in the zone, and the guys that are really killing it for the Red Sox in this inning, look at their batting averages coming in here, Wags. One guy at 194, one guy at 148. Kiner-Falefa was at 179, but here are the Red Sox up 2-0.
A much more patient and, when necessary, assertive swing here in the second inning from the Red Sox. Back on the corners, down 2-0. The pitch by Rogers to the leadoff man. Cedon Rafaela fouls it away, strike 1.
I think very instructive, Wags, that it was 50 pitches, 5-0, to go once through the order for the Red Sox starting 9. They had a game earlier this week where it was 25 pitches that they saw to go once through the order.
Already action up in the bullpen. Tyler Wells starting to loosen. The pitch fouled away at home plate. And again, Rogers in front, 0-2, but now he needs to put the batter away.
Yeah, couldn't put away the number 9 guy on 0-2. Very frustrating. You are dancing with danger anytime you're facing Rafaela.
And maybe Rogers is searching for what's going to work best. A couple of elevated fastballs have gotten tattooed by the Red Sox today, and they've laid off his changeup. Runner from first is going. The 0-2 popped up. This will reach the seats up the right field line.
Well, you've reported a few times in this inning that the runner from first is on the move. So, again, as the Red Sox look for answers here, one thing they are doing, apparently, is jabbing at that beehive a little bit. Just trying to get guys in motion.
Two down. First and third. Rafaela looking out. At a comebacker his first time up. Pitch from Rogers. Change up, down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The 3 hits this inning have been on 3 different kinds of pitches. Nothing really working completely yet for Rogers.
1-2. Swinging a line drive out of the reach of Henderson into left field. Another base hit. Another run comes in for Boston. Wong taps the plate on the RBI single by Cedar Rafaela, who snaps it 0 for 13, making it 3-zip Red Sox.
Well, that's 4 hits on 4 different pitches now. That was a cutter. But again, the common denominator here, I think, Wags, is a lot of stuff is up in the zone.
RBI number 9 for Rafaela, and an inning that will not stop for Trevor Rogers. 8th batter for the Red Sox here in the second. Wilson Contreras cuts and misses, strike 1. A 1-out double by Monasterio, the 2-out 2-bagger by Durbin to drive home the first run. A walk then followed on 4 pitches. Couldn't get Kiner Falefa into the glove after being in front 0-2. And now back-to-back base hits. 3-0 Boston. And Contreras takes down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike.
All the hits in this inning, all 4 of them, were with 2-strike counts.
1-1. Down and away. Rogers working from behind. Contreras 0 for 1 this afternoon. Bouncing one the opposite way, handled by Pete Alonso. He's way off the line. So a large lead at first by Rafaela, who's got good wheels. Kiner Falefa in front of him at second. The pitch from Rogers. That's low. And again, 3 balls and 1 strike.
And this second inning continues to be the devil's inning for the Orioles. They have allowed 24 second-inning runs, only 7 in the first all year, only 7 in the third all year, but it spikes to 24 in the second.
3-1 coming. A swing and a miss. Contreras bidding for the downs on that cut. Moves his count full.
And Wags, we're going to see 60 pitches through 2 innings at least for a guy who sometimes is at more like 20 or 25 through 2 innings.
This has been quite the slog here in the second inning for Trevor Rogers. Goes down 3-zip. 3-2 with the runners in motion. Fouled straight back. And we'll do it again full. You got the left-handed hitting Abreu out on deck, but you also have Tyler Wells loosening, and he's got kind of an equalizer against left-handed hitters with the changeup. Wonder if pitch count management is factoring in here with Rogers. Now at 60 pitches, it is afternoon. Runners take off in the pitch. Chopped away foul, third base side. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Workout on the bases from first and second. Rafaela and Kiner Falefa. Ready to go again. Rogers sends them away with a pitch. That's high, ball 4.
Well, I think
Manager Craig Alvarez off the top step of the dugout, and he will lift his left-hander before he faces a 9th hitter here in the second inning. Call to the bullpen is being brought to you by Jones Junction. If your vehicle needs service, stop by Jones Junction. Any maker model online at jonesjunction.com. Tough afternoon for the left-hander Trevor Rogers. Orioles down 3-0, making a pitching change with the Red Sox loading the bases as Tyler Wells jogs in on the Orioles radio.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
I'm Spencer, and I work at United Healthcare.
So, Spencer, why do you care?
I care because my daughter, Adeline, has special needs. I am motivated by Adeline, who inspires me every day. I am driven to help families like mine navigate the healthcare system. I'm so blessed to lead an amazing team at United Healthcare focusing on the member experience and making that better. I'm Spencer, and I'm committed to care.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to...
Visit goodfeet.com.
12th appearance of the season for Tyler Wells. An emergency relief of Trevor Rogers, who was bounced after 62 pitches and 38 strikes. He departs with the bases loaded and down 3-0. Wells trying to find that third out here in the second against the Red Sox. Uses a changeup and misses away against the left-handed batting Wilyer Abreu. Abreu today 0 for 1. Has 4 home runs on the year and a dozen driven in. Wells comes set, and the pitch. On the outside corner, a called strike. Wells working for the second time this week. On Wednesday in Kansas City, he was extremely effective. Got 5 outs on 10 pitches. Came in an 8-6 ball game in the 7th. Got 2 quick outs and then faced the minimum in the 8th. 1-1. Fastball on the outside half and a called strike.
Now, all these 2-strike hits in this inning for Boston. Here's another chance just to take care of business. You're 1-2 on Abreu. Make sure it stays at 3 and doesn't get more than that.
Bases loaded around the right-hander. Well set and deals. And he misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. RBI double by Caleb Durbin. Back-to-back RBI base hits by Connor Falefa and Rafaela. 3-0 Boston. It's early. 2-2. Floats low. Changeup just missed, and that's a good take by Abreu, too. You could tell that his body wanted to do something with it, but his hands and his mind said, no, we're not going to do anything with that pitch. Trevor Story out on deck. 2 down. Carousel ready. There they go. The 3-2 pitch popped up. Will it stay playable? Mayo sprinting towards the Red Sox dugout. Won't have a play. It's about 4 rows deep.
These are not real adjectives, but I'm going to bring them out anyway. The Red Sox are far less jumpy or chasey than they have been the last couple weeks for sure, just watching them from afar. Some really high-level, high-intelligent, high-discipline at-bats, especially in this second inning.
A much more patient and methodical approach. First against Rogers, and now working against Wells. Ready for another 3-2. Bases loaded. The pitch. Swinging a line drive straight away center field. Backing up Taveras. He squares up. He's there to make the play and retire the side. And this bat-around frame by Boston finally comes to a close. They leave them loaded, but the damage is 3-0 in the middle of the second on the Orioles Radio Network.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. Heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Tell Birdland you can join us at the Yard Friday, May 8th. Cheer on the O's against the A's. First 20,000 fans get the Tupac bobblehead. Get your tickets at Orioles.com/tickets.
That's Josh Lewin. I'm Ben Wagner. It's 3-0 Boston. Orioles second at bat after being retired 1-2-3 by Garrett Crochet. And then he had the longest layoff of his season in between innings, as the Red Sox rallied for 4 hits to score 3 runs and left the bases loaded. Now Pete Alonso leads off the bottom of the second inning. Works on Crochet and takes down and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for Baltimore. The 2-0. Punched out a play off to the right. Pete, the cleanup spot today is fueled by Club Citgo. Clean up on savings on every fill-up with Club Citgo. Download the app right now and start saving. The pitch, swing and a miss. JC elevated heater. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Alonso.
One way to get you cheered up here, Wags, now that it's 3-0 Boston. They've just had the food drop. They've delivered the warehouse dog. It will take me a moment to describe it to you, so I'll do it after a pitch.
The 2-2 coming. Up and away.
They could name this thing the angioplasty platter, I believe. It's phenomenal. It is a 12-inch dog. Burke's all-beef hot dog on a pretzel bun, but wait, there's more.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Alonso. Crochet kicks and fires, swing and a miss. Down on strikes, and 2 of the 4 that Crochet has faced, he's fanned.
So you got this humongous all-beef hot dog. It's topped with pit beef queso fundido, which I believe translates to fun cheese, and it is. Horseradish-infused brick sauce, pickled pico, fried onions, all on the pretzel bun.
Here's Tyler O'Neill. O's down 3-0. Takes outside, ball 1.
Odds of Tyler O'Neill trying this food product, I think, are slim. His body is a temple.
None. There's no chance. Not allowed in the same room. The 1-0 pitch. Off the cup into the bat, dribbling foul behind Jason Bourgeois' heels. 1 ball and 1 strike.
What did Adam Scott say in Step Brothers? I haven't had a carb since 2007. That's Tyler O'Neill, but we're going to make up for his lost time.
1, 2, 997, 998, 1-1. Down and away. I've done so many. 2 balls and 1 strike on O'Neill. 10 for 24, facing the uniform that he wore a couple of years ago, the Boston Red Sox. The 2-1 popped him up. Shallow and right, retreating back from second, Kiner full left, arms spread apart, he's underneath it, and a 2-handed squeeze. 2 up and 2 down. Red Sox in front, 3-zip. See if Jeremiah Jackson can get the offense started today. Crochet is completely different from where he's been his last 2 trips out to the mound for Boston. He looked lost. This is outside on JJ. Crochet had given up 15 earned runs over his last 2 trips to the Hill. Working out of the wine. The 1-0. Fastball, line to the gap in right center field. On a dead run, Rafaela and Abreu. It's Abreu streaking to the alley from right. Crossing in front of the path on the drive by Jeremiah Jackson to retire the Orioles 1-2-3. To the 3rd we go, 3-0 Boston on the Orioles Radio Network.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. BetterHelp Online Therapy can provide the tools you need to navigate the emotional weight of financial stress and manage uncertainty with more confidence. See if therapy's for you. Visit betterhelp.com/letsbegin for 10% off. That's betterhelp.com/letsbegin.
From first call to final invoice, ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that automates your entire workflow. Built for visionaries, ready to stop operating and start automating their success. ServiceTitan, AI for the
Member FDIC.
Birds have some work to do here this afternoon, especially at the plate, trailing 3-0. But now the bullpen has to do the heaviest lift this afternoon because Trevor Rogers is out. Tyler Wells continues to work in long relief, and to tell you all about it, here again, Josh Lewin.
All right, Wags, thank you very much. Trevor Story begins it for Boston in the top of the third, veteran right-hand batter. And he will swing right away, doesn't get it. The slider from Wells. Now, there was a game in Cleveland earlier this week, or I guess going back to last week now, where Wells got 5 outs on 10 pitches. Thumbtack that, and we'll get back to it. As the 0-1 comes in, it'll miss outside 1-1. 5 outs were achieved by Rogers today, the Orioles ace, the Orioles starter, but he didn't have 10 pitches. He had 62. And some thoughts on why that actually happened in a moment. 1-1 pitch, weak swing and a miss by Story. And the count to him 1-2. I don't think it was a velocity issue at all. It's not like, ooh, it looks like he's leaking oil or something not there. I think it was just a command issue. There was a lot of stuff up in the zone, even a changeup. Kind of sat up right around thigh high for a hitter. That's the one to Raffaello that got whacked for an RBI single. 1-2 the count to Story. 3-0 Boston now the pitch, and it's fought off foul back to the net. So, yeah, Trevor Rogers getting the 5 outs, giving up 4 hits, all in the second inning, and all of them with 2 strikes. 3 runs, and it's one of those where you hang the cliche, it could have been worse on it, because he left the bases loaded. Rocking the 1-2 pitch, a drive down the right field line, but foul. It'll find some orange shirts down that right field line. The Orioles are wearing their orange jersey tops today on the hockey jersey giveaway day. Very smart-looking Orioles hockey jerseys. Still 1-2, Wells to Story in the pitch to the Dallas native. Cut on and miss, down he goes. Battle of the Texans right there, and Tyler Wells wins out. Now Monasterio coming up, the guy that started the onslaught in the second inning, which again we have nicknamed the Devil's Inning this year. The second innings have just crushed a lot of these Orioles starters this season. Worked quickly through the first, major stumble, if not a pratfall in that second inning to follow. Mayo in a bit at third, the pitch on the way, taken under the hands for a strike, 0-1. Started him with a slider. And yeah, for Wells, efficiency was a word of the day, right? The 10 pitches to get 5 outs in Cleveland. That is a rarity. 0-1 pitch is low, 1-1. Get 10 pitches, 5 outs. That's something no Oriole reliever had done since B.J. Ryan in the year 2000. It's a guy that had some really nice years out of the O's bullpen for parts of 6 seasons, B.J. Ryan. Rocking the pitch. It's tagged down the left field line by Monasterio. He's bidding for his second double of the day. He's going to get it. Alexander has to dig that ball out of that voluminous left field corner. And Monasterio easily into second base. 2 for 2, 2 doubles in the last 2 innings, and it brings up Jarren Duran.
Red Sox are sitting all over elevated fastballs. They got to the ones Rogers offered, And Wells trying to go up the ladder, right above the buckle. Monasterio just ripped it up the left field line.
Now Duran, and you got to be careful right away. He's a noted first pitch masher, a career batting average of .380 when he puts the first one in play. Left-hand batter with a two-toned bat. Black on top and beige on the bottom. Monasterio pacing off that lead from second. Here's the pitch. Duran rips. He doesn't get it. 0-1. And again, elevated. Jarren Duran, the Cypress, California native. He's going to be turning 30 in September. That doesn't seem right, but yeah, he's going to be turning 30 years old. Deep in the box. Very steady stance here. Wells now will step off, looking back at second, doesn't throw. Talked yesterday about Duran bringing back that little toe tap mechanism, and he's had some success this week with it. Just a way to get himself settled and ready to attack the pitch. Big lead off second again for Monasterio, and this next delivery is up and outside to Duran. It's 1-1. Duran now in his 6th season, all with Boston, was the breakout star of that Netflix documentary about the Red Sox. Brought a lot of needed attention to the stigma surrounding mental health. Did Jarren Duran. Rocking the 1-1 pitch. High pop-up. That'll stay in the infield. Wells points it out. Shortstop Gunnar Henderson cruising in, settles under it, makes a one-hand catch up above his shoulder, 2 down. And Caleb Durbin will come to the plate next. Now, if failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor, that's a Truman Capote quote of all things. Durbin in it today was kind of all ketchup and mustard and no hot dog in that regard. Failing a lot, hitting 140. But he's already roped a double today, and he takes high here. It's 1-0. 140 was not what they had in mind when they traded to get him from Milwaukee. He was 3rd in the Rookie of the Year balloting last year in the National League. Runner at second, 2 down, 3-0 Boston. The pitch is taken. It's a strike on the inside. And will there be a challenge? Oh, okay, it was called a ball. Now we're going to see if Adley Rutschman saw what I saw. I thought it was a strike. It was a strike.
Calls overturned. It is a strike.
Andy Fletcher, and I like Andy Fletcher. He's a fine man, a decent umpire, but he has now been challenged 22 times this year, Wags. He has been correct 3 of the 22 times. He is the most overturned umpire on the circuit. Wells a check of the runner off second. Here's the kick, here's the pitch. Down and outside with a slider. Yeah, 19 of the 22 challenges when Mr. Fletcher's behind the plate go in the way of whoever's challenging. That time, nice job by Adley Rutschman. The O's as a team, pretty good challengers. There are stats for that. Here's the 2-1. Swing a little tapper towards short. Third hop is gathered in by Gunnar Henderson. Wings it across to Alonso cap high. That retires the side. Boy, you needed a 0 up there. And Tyler Wells got it done. 3-0 Boston as we hit the bottom of the 3rd on the Orioles Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
Wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Titan.
From first call to final invoice, Service Titan is the only integrated intelligence that automates your entire workflow. Built for visionaries, ready to stop operating and start automating their success. Service Titan, AI for
Bottom of the third on approach, 3-0 Boston. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Orioles radio network. Leody Taveras settles into the batter's box wearing the score on his back, 3-0. And he swings at the first pitch. He hoists it down the right field line. A slide coming on. Abreu has got it right before it could hit the chalk. 1 pitch, 1 out. Taveras robbed by a Gold Glove caliber right fielder. Kobe Mayo will come up next. He's homered in 3 straight games. But he is matched up against Garrett Crochet today. Last year, the second best ERA in the AL. So far this year, he's got the second worst. Came in with a hide your eyes 7.9. Brings it to Mayo and scrapes the outside corner with a strike. Last time out, 5 runs in 5 innings for Crochet against the Tigers. And the game before that, big yikes, put it that way. 11 runs, 10 earned in an inning and 2/3. As the next pitch is in for a strike again to Mayo, 0-2. So if Trevor Rogers feels badly about giving up 3 earned runs in an inning and 2/3 today, try giving up 11 in an inning and 2/3. Tapper foul from Mayo towards the Boston dugout on the third base side. You know, it's funny, Crochet said he was actually more frustrated with the Tigers game than that Twins game. He just courtesy flushed what happened in Minnesota, like, all right, that's just a bad day at the office. 0-2 is whacked to left. It's a base hit. Into the corner it goes. Mayo stomping on first on his way to second. And there you go. The Orioles have their first hit of the day, a double from Kobe Mayo. That'll set up Blaze Alexander nicely now. Runner at second, 1 out. That a high leg kick from Crochet. Then he delivered a 4-seamer that was right down the middle. And it got up and over the stab of Durbin at third base. One of the big issues for Crochet these last couple starts, he's been behind a lot of batters. That was not the case right there with Mayo. Started him with a couple strikes. Pitch to Alexander, rip and a miss, 0-1. Blaze goes after the first pitch more than 50% of the time. And it stands in such a stark contrast to the man who's on deck. Taylor Ward seldom goes after the first pitch. In fact, he seldom ever swings. Highest take percentage in the American League. 0-1 is curled out of play, foul to the right side, 0-2. Had to figure that Garrett Crochet was going to figure his way out of whatever was ailing him these last couple starts. Smart guy. I mean, he majored in nuclear engineering in college. Guy's got to have some analytical and cerebral skill. Here's the 0-2 to Alexander, and it's high. Of course, the guy that signed Crochet, their GM, Craig Breslow, well, he went to Yale, and he majored in molecular biophysics. Sounds like a Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie waiting to be written. 1-2 on the way. Taken, high and tight, 2-2. Crochet changing his socks last year. He moved from white to red. It worked out really well. Second in the Cy Young balloting. Signed with Boston now through 2031. Here's the pitch. Alexander swings. He doesn't get it. Down he goes. Polished off with a sweeper that time. That's probably only the 4th most used pitch for Crochet. He's big on the cutter, the 4-seamer, the sinker. The occasional hook. Got to have the hook. I mean, Crochet literally means hook in French, right? So got to have that. Here's Taylor Ward, runner at second, 2 out. And the pitch, a dart for a strike on the inside. This is what we're talking about. Ward seldom offering it a first pitch. He takes nearly 70% of all pitches that he will see over the course of a game. Waits until he gets one he wants. That one is up and outside, 1-1. We used to call it sorting through the junk mail until you find your paycheck. I think that's what Taylor Ward is all about. Nope, nah, I'll foul that one, don't like that one, nah. This one I'm going to attack. Here's the 1-1. Checks his swing, takes too low, 3 takes, and it's 2-1. Doesn't work for everybody, I get that, but it certainly works for Ward. Very discerning, if not finicky hitter. 3-0 Boston, last of the third. Here's the pitch. It's up and outside. So the take man, Taylor Ward, puts himself in a nice position here. Certainly a hitter's count with a great hitter on deck, Gunnar Henderson. Time requested by Ward. He'll back out. Mayo is that runner at second. He's got the only Orioles hit so far, the double here in the third. Outfield tilted a bit to right. Here comes the pitch to Ward. Checks, takes on the outside corner. It's 3-2. All right, so after 5 takes, maybe that paycheck's about to be delivered. A guy with 13 doubles, 1 home run. The pitch to him, that is low. He took it, and it is ball 4. Gunnar Henderson comes up as a tying man. And Wags, I don't know how you feel about it, but it doesn't feel like a tying man should be up right now. It feels like the Orioles are getting outclassed today, but one swing from Gunnar's could be a whole new ballgame.
Think back to that bases-loaded situation that the Red Sox couldn't take advantage of when they had really not only Trevor Rogers, but the Orioles on the ropes early in this ballgame. Keeping it 3-0 is well within striking distance, and I feel the same way you do. This game is very much up for grabs.
Well, especially with Crochet not having a Crochet-like kind of season quite yet. And especially with Gunnar Henderson proving early this year that he can hit left-handers really well. Last year had, 2 home runs off lefties all season. He's got 2 this year. Some of you old-timers like me may already know this crazy stat. The 1984 Orioles went the entire season without a lefty getting a hit off a left-hand pitcher. That is crazy. Only about 13 at-bats because of heavy platoon. But that's nuts. Pitch to Gunnar. Swings and he fouls it straight back, 0-1. That wasn't even with Earl Weaver managing. The man who introduced us all to platoons was Earl, of course, but his successor, Joe Altobelli, made sure only 13 times all year there would be an at-bat that was lefty versus lefty. 0-1 pitch is low, 1-1. Certainly when you've got a superstar like Gunnar Henderson, that was never going to be a thing in 2026. Gunnar's going to get a lot of chances to do some damage against left-hand pitching. Here's one of them now. Crochet in, swing, and a miss, 1-2. There's that cutter. Henderson will back out of the box, adjust the batting gloves. Hinges back in, runners at first and second with 2 out. 3-0 Boston in the third. Crochet with a high set. Here he comes. Taken, and it's down and in. So 2 on, 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Man wearing 2 and batting number 2 in the order. Gunnar Henderson ready to do his thing. Crochet sets, and now he brings it. Check swing taken. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. The sweeper that hit that outside edge. Gunnar still doesn't have a hit this year with a 3-2 count on him. He took that one to 2 strikes deep into account, and he could not pull the trigger, did not come through. The O's strand a couple, and at the end of 3, it is Boston 3 and the Orioles 0 on the Orioles Radio Network.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
I'm Brian. I work at United Healthcare.
So, Brian, why do you care?
I care because I don't want to leave anybody behind. I oversee one of the biggest resource centers in United Healthcare. I see people walk in my office every day, just like my parents. They have no idea about the healthcare. I feel like they are my uncles, aunties. I treat these people like family. I'm Brian, and I'm committed to care.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check it.
Well, the Orioles did not score in the bottom of the third despite a double and a walk. That walk brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Get out of pain, back to doing what you love at the Good Feet Store. Go to goodfeet.com to find a store near you and book your appointment today. Josh Lewin, Ben Wagner with you. It is a 3-0 Boston lead to the fourth inning, and already a third pitcher for the O's today as Albert Suarez is into the game to face Connor Wong. And a first pitch ladled in for a strike, 0-1. The veteran right-hander Suarez, with an ERA of 5 on the button, getting into 5 games for the year now. The Orioles did add Keegan Aiken to the active roster before the game today. 0-1 breaking ball is popped foul back this way. That'll dunk down just beneath us and run the count to 0-2 on Wong. Trevor Rogers just didn't have it today, and again, by not having it, we're talking about command, not velocity. Got only 5 outs. Kicking the pitch from Suarez. He bounced it to the plate. Tyler Wells out of the bullpen. Some nice work. And now let's see how long Suarez can go. Unfortunately, Garrett Crochet seems to be rounding into form for Boston. Outfield straight up for Wong, the right-hand batter. Slightly open stance for him. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing a roll or foul up near third. And a fourth inning that's brought to you by Toyota. Shop Toyota for legendary style and reliability, starting with the all-new RAV4. Shop Toyota.com for details and deals on your favorite Toyota. Let's go places. The big right-hander to the motion. Suarez brings in the 1-2. And it's up and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Talking about Suarez getting into his 5th game this year. He only appeared in 5 all of last year due to injury. That slurve that he introduced last year seemed to be a pretty good pitch. 2-2 is whacked foul back to the net. The 4-seam fastball that was up. And Suarez at 37, kind of an elder statesman now. The man that returned from a 7-year absence that took him through 3 different international leagues. Found a nice home with the O's last year. 2-2 is outside. Actually, the year before is when it all came together. And here's another one of these deep at-bats for a Boston batter. It is 3-2 on Wong. Motion on the mound, the payoff pitch coming. Swinging a hot shot foul down near third. Here the third base coach, one-time Oriole Kyle Hudson. Hudson's final Major League game as a player came against the Red Sox here at Camden Yards. 3-2 to Wong. Way outside, ball 4. That doesn't help. Number 8 batter has walked twice in this game. It brings up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. So I looked this one up, Wags, talking about Kyle Hudson. His final Major League game at Camden Yards, end of 2011. He pinch ran for Chris Davis and actually scored the winning run in that game. Pitch coming. It's a pushed bunt. And it's Alonso going to second base with it. Got him! Wow, a very aggressive play. And if it holds, it'll be 1 on, 1 out. If they challenge and overturn it, it's trouble. It is 2 on, nobody out if the Sox decide to challenge. You know, we've been talking about Alonso picking it up on defense, and they're not going to challenge, having looked at it. Great job by Pete Alonso. And give you a little bit of insight here just from my time with the Mets. Keith Hernandez, legendary defensive first baseman, of course, first for the Cardinals, then for the Mets. I don't think anybody that I've ever seen in my lifetime made that exact play that we just saw better than Keith, where he would just kind of sniff out a bunt and say, I'm going to second with it. The heck with you guys. I'm not going to first. I'm getting the lead man. Pitch to Rafaela is tagged down the right field line, but foul, 0-1. And I know Keith has told Pete Alonso on a play like that, it's mindset. You got to be the hunter and just know that as soon as that ball hits the grass, it's yours and you're thinking second base all the way. And it seemed like that lesson was available for everybody in this ballpark to see right there. Tossed to first, the runner back.
11 gold gloves for Keith Hernandez. The level of difficulty, in my mind, raises for Pete Alonso because of the handedness.
Yeah.
Pete's charging in, and he's got to reverse his body, swivel the hips to get enough on the throw to second base. Keith is a left-handed thrower.
Runner goes, 0-1 is low. One bounce throw from Rutschman, skitters into center field. Wong will pick it up and put her down and go to third on a throwing error from Adley Rutschman. And again, one of the things that is so noticeable today is how the Red Sox, and it doesn't matter who's on the mound, they are running. They are trying to just kind of kick themselves out of a 2-week-long offensive slump, and one way to do that is just to be aggressive on the bases. So it's a stolen base E2, second steal of the year for Wong, who's a catcher. Infield comes in. Runner at third, one out, 1-1 to Rafaela. And he takes a strike on the outside corner, but a challenge is coming.
Pitcher's called a strike. The hitter's challenging.
Told you. And again, Andy Fletcher has had his issues in challenges this year, the home plate umpire.
Ball's overturned. The pitch is a ball.
Yeah, this one is a ball.
You saw 2 challenges remaining.
Wasn't even real close.
No, by plenty. 2.5 inches off the plate. That's a pretty significant miss for a major league umpire.
Yep. That's a big swing in the count, too. To 2-1. Here's the pitch from Suarez. Down in the dirt, 3 balls, 1 strike.
And that's where kind of the artistry of the challenges, in my mind, plays for a batter, for a catcher, or a pitcher. And pitchers aren't challenging near the frequency that I don't think anybody expected to. But to move a count from 2-1 to 1-2, or vice versa, it's huge.
Absolutely. Here's a 3-1 delivery coming. Way outside, ball 4. So, more active on the bases, more patient at the plate. That seems to be the killer combo for the Red Sox today. And now here comes Wilson Contreras, who's walked himself. I check myself. Kiner Falefa, the runner at third, and not Wong, because of the fielder's choice. That was activated by Pete Alonso. Now, the infield is going to stay in. They will not drop to conventional double play depth. I think the statement here is you've got Garrett Crochet on the mound. You got to keep this thing 3-0. Trying to walk the tightrope is Suarez. His pitch on the way to Contreras, and he moves outside with a cutter. Everything's swerving down and outside from Suarez in this inning so far.
Yeah, even on the ball 4 to Wong, on the ball 4 to Rafaela, not competitive. Basically, balls out of the hand.
Outfield straightaway for Contreras, who's got considerable pop. Had a 20 home run season last year. Swings and launches this one to left, but going back is Blaze Alexander. He's got room. Ready to tag is Kiner Falefa. He's coming home. Throw goes to second base. That's a good idea because the runner from first has to retreat. Sac fly RBI makes it 4-0 Boston. 13th RBI of the year for Contreras. But yeah, 2 walks in the inning. There were also 2 walks back in the second to go with those 4 2-strike hits for the Sox. And again, for them, the way things have gone, this is a bonanza for them, getting a 4-run ball game. Here is Wilyer Abreu, 0 for 2 with a line out to center, and he takes on the outside corner, strike 1. Wags, you mentioned that line out to center was with the bases loaded, 3 runs already in the second. I thought that was a huge play. That ball gets beyond Taveras. It is a 6-0 game in the second inning. 0-1 from Suarez. Maneuvered outside, 1-1. Boy, 7 of the 8 hardest hit balls in this game have been from Boston. Everything's going their way right now. They're up 4-0 in the fourth. The pitch, wave and a miss by Abreu. Bottom dropped out of that one, the changeup.
This is why you come to the ballpark, right? Because one day is always different than the day prior. Last night, the Orioles had 15 balls put in play at 100 miles or better off the bat. And today, guess who has the collection of them?
On hockey jersey giveaway day, it's like the Zamboni has gone through the building. Pitch is low. Runner going. Throw down. Out the call. And that's how the inning comes to an end. Rafaela trying to play a little game of chicken down there, trying to get around the tag. But Rutschman already charged with a throwing error in the center on one of those plays in this inning. Got that one to the bag, and that retires the side. A strange inning that nets 1 run for Boston. They've actually stranded 4 through 4. Our score, 4-0 Red Sox to the bottom of the fourth on the Orioles Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
From first call to final invoice, ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that automates your entire workflow. Built for visionaries, ready to stop operating and start automating their success. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
Data rates may apply.
Most fans, Birdland memberships are on sale right now, starting for $2.99. You get 16 games, ultimate flexibility, and you can swap games out. Get guaranteed giveaways like today's hockey jersey, $12 parking, and discounts at concession and merchandise kiosks. Birdland memberships, very popular. Find out all the details, Orioles.com/memberships.
Bottom of the fourth, Adley Rutschman leads off with a pop into short left center. Everybody running. Center fielder there. Rafaela got a late jump on it, but he has closing speed. And there's one down after one pitch here in the last of the fourth. Josh Lewin with Ben Wagner. And, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those time-honored baseball maxims about momentum being the next day's starting pitcher, right? I mean, you're running into Garrett Crochet today after you had a 20-hit outburst the night before. Here's Pete Alonso. Had one of the 20 hits last night. He eyeballs a strike on the outside. That is why in this sport, I think, unlike some others, it's just so quick how things can turn. 0-1 is way outside, 1-1. One day you're the windshield, the other you're the bug. 4-0 Red Sox. The big inning for them was the second when they plated 3 against Trevor Rogers. 1-1, a high fly ball soaring into left against that pale gray sky. Duran settles under the baseball, makes the catch. 2 down. I use what I call the Bill Withers scale. If you're familiar with his music, he did Lovely Day. That was yesterday. Today is Ain't No Sunshine. Literally.
He nailed it, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a fine modern-day philosopher was Bill Withers for sure. Here's Tyler O'Neill. Nice to see him back in the lineup. He'll take, and it's outside 1-0. First game in a dozen days for Tyler. Rock on the rubber. Here's a pitch from Crochet, and it's up A little bit too high and outside as well. Right-hand batter wearing number 9, Tyler O'Neill. Ready for the 2-0. Here it is. High drive, left field, but it'll curl and get pretty far foul. Not quite a home run distance and a good 35 feet wide of that pole. That concussion for Tyler O'Neill, the latest of the many maladies that have defined his very star-crossed career. Matched up against his former team here today. Swings and misses. It's now 2-2 to him. What he did in Boston in 24 is what the Orioles hoped they would get last season. Just a straight-up copy and paste. 2-2-2 out pitch. Flutters outside. Crochet thought he might have had strike 3. That was not the call he got. O'Neill's OPS in Boston was about 850. It was 680 as an Oriole last year. 3-2. Taken. Strike 3 rung up at the knees, and Crochet indeed marching off the mound. He's looking like he did a year ago. Red Sox 4, Orioles nothing. We've completed 4 at Camden Yards on the Orioles Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
From first call to final invoice, Service Titan is the only integrated intelligence that automates your entire workflow. Built for visionaries, ready to stop operating and start automating their success. Service Titan, AI for the...
So much went very well last night for the Orioles, and that has not quite funneled into this afternoon quite yet. 4-0 Boston as we get set for the 5th. Here to tell you all about it, here's Ben Wagner.
All right, thanks a lot, Josh. Once again, Albert Suarez asked to save the day with long relief. It was a clunky start by Trevor Rogers, and now the Orioles are in salvage mode. First pitch by Suarez, line the other way, and a base hit for Wilyer Abreu into left field. That's how this 5th inning begins. Brought to you by Navy Football. Purchase your season, group, and single game tickets today at NavySports.com. Abreu's first hit of the afternoon. Now he's 1 for 3. Albert Suarez started a clean 4th inning. Now he picks up here in the 5th. Tyler Wells was rushed in behind Trevor Rogers and a start that was all too short after 62 pitches to start today. And the reason that the Red Sox built a 3-0 lead after 2 and now in front 4-0. Suarez deals, and over with a fastball for a called strike on Trevor Story. Story, a tough day at the plate for him, going down on strikes twice. Had a couple of base hits yesterday. Crouching down to the right-handed batter's box. Suarez out of the stretch. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball. It might be 2. Ticketed towards the middle. Off the edge of the glove of Jackson, and he's got no play. The second baseman was ranging to his right. Went over to the shortstop side of second. And then at the last moment, that ball clipped off the edge of his glove and took the Orioles out of any out, let alone maybe a double play.
Getting a look at the replay, I don't know if maybe Jackson just took his eye a little bit towards Gunnar Henderson to see is he coming to the bag or not, but really no reason other than that to drop that ball.
Birds get an error on the play, squaring around a bunt, rolled softly up the first baseline by Monasterio. That is strike one in the at-bat.
And again, just to kind of reframe all of that, you've got your cleanup man who doesn't run real well with a couple of injuries, little dinged-up things happening right there. Trevor Story, I mean, that was a double play for the taking.
Quarters are creeping in. Monasterio squares early. Suarez deals. It's a bunt right to him. Picks it up from the mound. Goes to third for one. Mayo to first, and it's not in time. Jeremiah Jackson coming over from second to cover up first base. It was a close play at first as the Orioles were making a bid to get a double play. Good job by Albert Suarez springing off the bump, covering his side of the diamond on the left and to feed Mayo.
And how about asking Monasterio to drop that down in the first place? You're already up 4-0. Monasterio has doubled twice today, and they're asking him to drop down that bunt. I thought it was a decent bunt when it first left the bat, but again, the Orioles were absolutely ready for it. The O's actually took infield practice working on bunts before the game today.
Here's Jaron Duran. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up. In front of the Red Sox dugout, foul territory, past the coach's box. Mayo's there for the catch, and there are two down.
And by the way, Wags, how much do you love that from Craig Albernaz? I know it wasn't a super late night last night, but it was a late-ish night. Yet the game moved up to noon today. Hey, we were going to work on our bunts today. Guys, just get here a little earlier. We're still doing it.
Well, I think that's two things. Get the blood pumping, get everybody moving.
Yep.
Instead of a show and go, which is usually the label with an early tilt. And plus, there's been breakdown in fundamentals for this Orioles club far too often this early in the season. First pitch to Durbin, driven out of play up the right side. And right now, Baltimore has to do everything in sync to line up every victory that they can grab. They come into play today, even at 500, 13-13. Down 4-0 here in the fifth. The pitch. Suarez misses down and out.
Well, it's 13 wins, 13 losses, and 13 dudes on the IL. And to me, it's that last thing. It's exactly why you talk about the importance of doing the little things, because eventually the cavalry is going to come. You're going to get players that you need back.
Runners at first and second and two down. Durbin takes and moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think right now it's just all about keeping the car on the road. You don't have to do any fancy lane changes quite yet. Just keep on driving and wait for those big bats and some big arms to come back.
2-1 off the outside edge. 3 balls and 1 strike. Orioles little by little starting to get healthier. They got Keegan Aiken back in the bullpen today. They should get their closer Ryan Helsley coming back tomorrow. Different circumstances for Helsley. The 3-1 check swing pitch off the outside edge. They appeal to first and it didn't go. So that free pass will load the bases for Boston. And Connor Wong will come to the plate. Take a quick peek at the Johns Hopkins Medicine out-of-town scoreboard. Real quick about some matchups in Major League Baseball. The Dodgers will host the Cubs today. Later on tonight, Atlanta entertaining Philadelphia. Zach Wheeler's on the bump, pitching for the Phillies against Brady Elder. First pitch, a fly ball down the right field line towards the corner, turning around, looking up, and it's off the base of the wall over the head of O'Neill. 1 run is in. Here comes the second run, and here comes a third run on contact with that soaring drive down the right field line off the bat of Connor Wong. He bangs it off the fence, and he'll drive in 3, making it 7-0.
That's the same guy who last year didn't have an extra base hit until late July. First 13 hits of last year were all singles. Didn't have any RBIs at all, and all the way through the end of June. And on one swing right there, Connor Wong plates 3.
Runner at second, still 2 down, and Kiner Falefa takes low and away. That's where that air has reared its ugly head. The 2-out walk has come back to bite the Orioles. Everybody in motion on contact, and it nets the Red Sox 3 more. The pitch. High strike called on Kiner Falefa.
6 of their 7 hits in this game, Wags, have been with 2 strikes. And they're just whirling dervishes around the bases here. Who are these people?
Runner at second in the pitch. Popped up on the diamond from the right side. Alonso and Jackson there. Jackson charging onto the infield grass makes the play, and that'll retire the side. Another lengthy at bat by Boston here in the fifth inning. 7 men come to the plate. 3 will touch it, and the Red Sox have built a 7-0 lead in the middle of the fifth on the Orioles radio.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. Therapy can provide the tools you
Orioles on the Farm, presented by Royal Farms. Don't forget your Orioles Cup next time you fill up at Royal Farms. Walk-off for the Tides in Norfolk last night. Kristen Encarnacion Strand made it a 1-0 final with an RBI poke. And the walk-off enjoyed down at Harbor Park. Enjoy discounted drinks all year long for O's at Royal Farms. Here's Ben.
All right, thank you very much, Josh. Jeremiah Jackson leading off the bottom of the fifth inning with the Birds down large now, trailing 7-0. Gets a first pitch strike from Garrett Crochet, who has found his groove. Rocks and fires, and the pitch is downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Orioles' second baseman. On a day that has been pretty bleak offensively for the Orioles, they have been shut out on 1 hit. That double belongs to Kobe Mayo, and it happened in the third inning. Crochet is just 2 over the minimum. Jackson flares it off to the right, out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jackson, who labeled his first at bat with a hard line drive, but it was caught in right field by Wilyer Abreu. The pitch from Crochet. Check swing. Did he offer? He did, and he's rung up because of it. A frustrating reaction of Jeremiah Jackson after being punched out. Crochet will net his 6th strikeout of the afternoon.
I know it's only the 5th inning and it's only 1 game, but Crochet has needed only 59 pitches. The Orioles have had to throw 121.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable how efficient he's been today, especially in contrast of where he was the prior starts coming in.
Yep.
He looked like he was a mess. Switch hitting. Leody Taveras batting right again today against Crochet. Takes in tight, ball 1.
I don't think anybody in Boston wanted to hear the whole all is well thing, right? I mean, don't worry about it.
1-0, clips the outside corner, evens the count at 1.
But, you know, Crochet is a guy that's done some things very well the last couple of years, and he was saying, I'll figure it out. He has.
1-1. Taveras takes up and away.
I'm just thinking here, Wags, his command, I think, has been really good today, and that was the element that was not there for Trevor Rogers.
2-1. Swing and a miss. Went after an elevated fastball. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Especially when Rogers needed the command, he wasn't able to execute the pitch to get strike 3. Or with 2 strikes, get the out. Put guys away.
Remember in that first inning, everything stayed in the infield. He got 3 ground ball outs right away.
2-2 coming. Missed away.
That second inning got away from him. That was, a 42-pitch inning for him. And he did not get out of the inning.
Boston 7, Baltimore nothing. The pitch to Leody. And it's low. Ball 4. That'll help. A one-out walk. Left off looking at that Johns Hopkins Medicine out-of-town scoreboard. Blue Jays will entertain the Guardians today at Rogers Center. Twins are on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. New York Yankees are in Houston. They'll face the Astros a little bit after 7 o'clock tonight. Those are the matchups on the Johns Hopkins Medicine out-of-town scoreboard. Kobe Mayo, the batter, takes in tight ball one. When joint pain gets in the way, turn to Johns Hopkins Orthopedics. Our experts provide world-class care to restore movement and relieve pain. Learn more at hopkinsmedicine.org/joints. Crochet to the dish. Swing and a miss by Mayo. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kobe, who doubled his last time up. It was a sizzler, too. That contact, that exit velocity, the pure sound, all coming together. The lone hit today for Baltimore. Crochet ready for his 70th pitch, working here in the 5th. Mayo asks for time and backpedals away from the box.
We've got 3 home runs and a double in the last 4 games for Mayo.
One. In at the knees. Put it behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. He had a gargantuan shot in Kansas City into the fountain. Above the first set of bleachers, then a walkway, and then one of those cascading fountains that they've got at Kauffman Stadium. That was on Wednesday afternoon. 1-2. Big cut. Foul back.
The one before that I thought was going to roll to the Denny's all the way across the highway there.
That was ticketed for I-70, which would have eventually made its way all the way to Maryland. That was a majestic shot up the left field line. Some of the best exit velocity that we've seen from Kobe. 1-2. On a line, straightaway center field. Rafaela curled in and now races back and runs it down a step shy of the warning track. Now there's another ball absolutely blistered by Kobe Mayo, but the ballpark holds this one, and one of the game's good outfielders, and Cedon Rafaela, retreats to reel it in. There are 2 away.
Yeah, even at 9-17 coming in, you mentioned it, Wags. This is a really fun outfield to watch go get it. Everybody out there is excellent at what they do. Boston 9-17. You're playing them now. You just played Kansas City. They're 9-17. Next up is Houston. They're 10-17.
A lot of parity in the American League here in the first month. Blaze Alexander takes outside, ball 1.
Yeah, nobody's...
It's not good parity. But
right.
Sub 500 is not good.
Well,
but if you look at what's going on in the National League, you'd be like, okay, well, there's where all the wins are.
Right.
Runner at first, 2 out. 1-0 to Alexander. Poked up the right side and slicing foul.
I mean, NL Central with everybody over 500. Milwaukee's got a great ball club, right? But they're in last place at 13-12. Padres are 17-8 in the West. They're now ahead of the Dodgers, 17-9.
The pitch. Down and in.
Of course, fans of the Mets and Phillies are saying, what are these 2 chuckleheads talking about, that the National League is suddenly great? Mets are 9-17. They had a 12-game losing streak, and the Phillies are on a 10-game losing streak right now.
2-1 coming. In the air, straightaway center field. Drifting back to his left goes Rafaela, and he gallops underneath it to grab it for out number 3. The walk, not able to produce anything out of it. The runner, Taveras, left at first base, and we're going to the 6th. It's still 7-0 Boston across the Orioles.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
Wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs.
At the ballpark here in Charm City, really nice crowd with this game being moved further back in the day. We got underway just after 12 o'clock noon. Now we go to the 6th where it's 7-0 Boston, and we get the play-by-play story from Josh Lewin.
Thank you, Wags. It's Ceddanne Rafaela at the plate. He takes under the hands for a strike delivered by Albert Suarez. Underway in this 6th inning. The Orioles, with a 20-hit explosion yesterday, have imploded today. Just the one hit from Kobe Mayo. Suarez in with the pitch. That's in too snug. 1-1 to Rafaela, native of Curacao, who is 1 out of 2 with a walk today. He was caught stealing to end the 4th inning. Red Sox are running the relays out there on the bases today. Swinging a foul ball twisted out of play. Upper deck on the right field side. It's 1-2. Ceddanne Rafaela, a guy that does swing very aggressively. But most of all, he's a fabulous defender. He and Wilyer Abreu both winning Gold Gloves last year. Rock on the rubber, the 1-2 pitch. Wave and a miss. Suarez got him. Tantalizing curveball. And Rafaela coming up empty, 1 down. We'll bring up Wilson Contreras now. 6th inning brought to you by PNC. Patience is a winning strategy in baseball and banking. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. Contreras, a walk, a sac fly, and a bounce out. A check swing here and a foul towards the O's dugout on the first base side. And as we peek inside of a 13-13 Orioles record, there's so much to parse early in this season. Some good, some bad. 0-1. Wave and a miss from Contreras, 0-2. A lot of what's gone right is just the willingness to fight. The Orioles, so many comeback wins already this year. 0-2 on the way from Suarez is high. But you can look at that both ways, I guess, right? I mean, why are you so often having to come from behind, would ask the cynic. To the O's credit, a lot of times they do battle back. 1-2 delivery coming. That is down and outside. It was such a nice thing to talk about last night. An Orioles team that has struggled to do damage at the plate for much of the year with that 20-hit output. Next delivery taken high. Full count, 3-2 on Contreras. Abreu has moved on deck. Of course, strikeouts have been at the heart of a lot of what's been ailing the O's at the plate. They have the 3rd highest strikeout ratio in the big leagues right now. 3-2. Speaking of strikeouts, down goes the batter Contreras, who's actually struck out now 9 of his last 16 at bats. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th. That'll bring up Wilyer Abreu. The inability to hit the soft stuff is really what we're talking about when you break down what's happening with all the strikeouts. The expected batting average against non-fastballs for the Orioles is dead last in the majors. Pitch to the lefty, Abreu will dance outside. It's 1-0. When the Orioles face heat, they are actually top 5 in that expected batting average stat, but the soft stuff and breaking stuff has been the corrosive acid. Swinging a fly ball foul down the third baseline out of play, 1-1. Of course, you got Ward and Alonso, guys that combined for 74 home runs last year. So far, they're on pace for 24. 1-1 pitch is up and outside. Basayo and Beavers being asked to build on what they started last August. There have been some hints of that, but neither really completely rolling yet. Here's a 2-1. Swinging a little roller up near first. Pete Alonso plays the third. Hop tunnels over to the bag, touches up. And a nice, quick, easy 1-2-3 inning against the top of the order for Suarez. Bottom of the sixth on approach. 7-0 Boston on the Orioles Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard to...
Lock in your block of seats and hospitality packages today and save big. Group seating offers a wide variety of seating and pricing options to fit any group's needs. You have a group?
I do.
Make it a group. Orioles.com/groups.
Taylor Ward is at the plate. He takes outside. It's 1-0. Let's just go back and start over.
Yeah, groups. Groups.
Audrey, get me rewrite. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's outside to Ward, 2-0. I feel for you. The word groups was in that read a lot. That was a lot. Hashtag groups.
Yeah.
Now, 1-1 to Ward. His punch out to play to the right, 1-2. 7-0 Boston today. A very different vibe. Yesterday, the Orioles hitting 6 home runs in one night. The Red Sox have hit 6 home runs in their last 2.5 weeks. But today, only 1 hit against Garrett Crochet. He's really rocking with that fastball today. Brings in a sweeper this time to Ward. He takes and it's low. It's 2-2. We were talking about Ward, his last at bat, kind of the king of the take. Does not swing unless he really, really thinks he can do some damage. 2-2. He does swing here and he fouls it. Been about 60% with the fastballs today, by the way, for Crochet. That is a lot for him. To his credit, it's worked out just fine. Next delivery, fouled straight back. That was the four-seamer at 96. So Red Sox fans that were super concerned about what is going on with Crochet, I think just kind of going back and just firing fastballs and spotting them well. It sounds like a very simple tonic. But so far, so good. 2-2, another foul from Ward. Punched out of play, back near first. Top of the order here in the bottom of the sixth. It is Ward, Henderson, Rutschman coming up. Colby Mayo, the only guy with a hit. That was a double in the third. Came close to another hit in the fifth. A deep line out to center. 2-2 from Crochet. Swing a tapper up near third. Slowly hit. Going to be a problem. Crochet fielding, has to stuff it in his pocket. No chance to get Ward, who's got the second Orioles hit of the day. Well, he just beat a sinker straight into the ground. And it kicked about 35, maybe 40 feet up the third base line. Crochet, he's a big guy, came lumbering down that third base side of the mound to go grab it. But Taylor Ward runs well, and he's safely at first base.
Crochet had visions of firing up the first base line, but thought he is in control. He'll get the outs himself. That's the better move.
So now Gunnar Henderson, lefty versus lefty. First ball, fastball outside, 1-0.
Total ball catcher's challenging.
Oh, Gunnar now with a spite challenge. Just trying to kickstart something for the O's. Is it 1-0? Is it 0-1? Or a catcher with a challenge.
Call is overturned.
Call is overturned. Yeah, it was the catcher, Wong, who says, let's get it right here. Wong is right. And it is a strike to Gunnar Henderson. Another overturn against poor Andy Fletcher. 0-1 delivery. Stroke down the right field line, but bending foul. Crashes into that netting to protect the fans deep down that right field line. 0-2 to Gunnar.
You mentioned the fastball usage for Crochet. Each of the last 3 seasons, since he's become a full-time starter, the fastball percentage in his starts has gone down. 54% in 24 to 36 to 28% this year.
0-2. Swing and a miss, and a tough day at the office continues for Gunnar Henderson. There's that four-seamer. Ratcheted up to 97 miles an hour. So, look, I'm no pitching coach. I'm no psychologist. Didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn last night. But, I mean, it's pretty simple to me. Crochet's been struggling. He's a talented guy with a good fastball, and it's just kind of like, all right. I mean, I know I got a good fastball. Let me stop messing around and just come in with that a lot.
Go back to basics, pitch to strengths.
Even against a very good fastball hitting team. Rutschman taking on the outside corner. We were just talking last half inning about how the Orioles, when they struggle at the plate, usually it's because somebody is getting very creative, if not cute, up there. A lot of off-speed stuff, a lot of breaking stuff. And Crochet just says, nah, I got a good fastball. This ball grounding to left, a base hit by Adley Rutschman, a sweeper, and yeah, that's maybe getting too cute. The fastball is working fine, and it's almost like he decides, well, I got to show the sweeper every once in a while. Rutschman waiting on it, pounds it into left, it's 2-on. So after having 1 hit total in 5 innings, the Orioles are 2 for 3 here in the 6th, and that'll set it up for Pete Alonso. A lot of horsepower under the hood for Alonso, of course. He just hasn't really taken the car out on the road completely yet, so to speak. Batting average at 208, OPS in the 670 range. Big right-hand batter waiting. Crunches it on the ground to third. Vacuumed up there on a second for 1. Turn to first, a double play. Now Pete Alonso, not thrilled, spikes that batting helmet as he gets past first base. Crochet, what did he do? He went to the fastball. And he got that 2 for the price of 1 ground out to get us through the end of 6. It's the Red Sox 7 and the Orioles nothing on the Orioles Radio Network.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Love paying shipping and delivery fees just to wait weeks for your package? We didn't think so. That's why Lowe's delivers fast and free. All My Lowe's Rewards and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members enjoy free delivery and free same-day delivery on eligible orders. Yep, you heard right. Same day, too. That's just another way members get more at Lowe's. Same day applies to orders over $25. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at Lowes.com/shipping.
7-0 ball game as we hit the 7th inning. Boston has a jump on the Orioles today. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Orioles Radio Network. Hockey jersey giveaway day today, and in that regard, Garrett Crochet has been a Vezina Trophy winner. A 7-0 lead as Trevor Story launches the first pitch. He sees deep to left. Alexander back right in front of the 363 marker. He makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Now, the best goalie in the NHL gets the Vezina, a guy that keeps the puck out of the net. And if we can continue with a somewhat tortured metaphor, you've got Garrett Crochet with a clean sheet working today. Working on that shutout on 3 hits, 2 of which were just minted last inning. Here's Monasterio now. And the pitch to him, ladled in for a strike at the knees, 0-1. Trevor Rogers was yanked in the 2nd inning of this game. Tyler Wells and now Albert Suarez have followed. 0-1 pitch, a little tapper near third. Backing up on it, playing it is Mayo. Wings it across in the dirt, scooped out by Alonso. Nice job, 2 down. 7th inning brought to you by the Maryland Mortgage Program. 7 steps to home ownership. Start your journey at mmp.maryland.gov. And Jarren Duran to the plate, 0 for 3 so far today. His batting average now right around 190. Quite the turn of events going from Friday night into Saturday afternoon as Duran readies himself and takes down an in. What was it, Sinatra lyric? You're riding high in April, shot down in May. We've gone from April to May in a hurry here, within 12 hours. Duran takes outside from Suarez, and the count 2-0. How high were the Orioles riding last night amid the volley of firecrackers? Most home runs, most hits in a major league game from any team all year. 2-0 to Duran will hit the inside corner, 2-1. 20 hits, 6 of them for home runs last night. The Orioles had never done that before, ever. Going back to their days as the St. Louis Browns. 2-1. Change of pace, a swing and a miss, 2-2. One of the time-honored baseball cliches, right? Save some of those runs for tomorrow. I wish.
At least the hits. Can you carry them over?
Right. 20 of them yesterday. They had 1 through 5 innings today, so hat tip Garrett Crochet. 2-2 pitch. Wanders outside. Full count with 2 out. Nobody on. Crochet has kept the pitch count down all day, even though Greg Weissert is getting ready in the bullpen. In theory, he could come out. Could Crochet for another inning. Here's a swing and a high drive to left. But Blaze Alexander is there. A little bit to his right makes the catch, and that retires the side. It's actually 8 straight retired by Suarez now. And we're at the stretch, the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by MedStar Health. MedStar Health, proud to be the trusted medical team of the O's for over 10 years. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people. To the bottom of the 7th in Baltimore, it's Boston 7 and the Orioles 0 on the Orioles Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
Wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Love paying shipping and delivery fees just to wait weeks for your package? We didn't think so. That's why Lowe's delivers fast and free. All My Lowe's Rewards and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members enjoy free delivery.
Tractor, we live it.
Still thinking about how to treat mom for Mother's Day? Celebrate at the Yard on Sunday, May 10th, as the Orioles take on the Athletics. First 20,000 fans will receive a denim crab cap presented by Giant Food. Buy your tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets.
A lot of tickets cashed in today to see the Orioles and the Red Sox. Again, the game time moved back from 4 o'clock to a noon start because we are told the rain's a-coming. Greg Weissert is into the ball game for Boston. We can finally say bye-bye to Garrett Crochet. What a day he had today. Tyler O'Neill at the plate and takes a strike from Weissert. Now, Weissert with a 4.66 ERA through 11 games. He's walked 4, struck out 15. O'Neill 0 for 2 for the afternoon so far. Rock on the rubber, pitch to him, buckles him back inside. It's 1-1. So Crochet for the day, 90 pitches to get through the 6 innings. No runs, of course. Couple walks, 7 punch-outs. 3 hits allowed, 2 just in the last inning. 1-1 delivery from Weissert is high. And O'Neill, the native Canadian, with his hockey jersey giveaway day. He grew up in the Vancouver area, but was actually a Calgary Flames fan growing up. 2-1 is smacked into left field. Base hit, Tyler O'Neill. All right, now that Crochet is out, maybe the Birds can go to work. Jeremiah Jackson coming up. Tyler was telling me he was a big Jerome McGinley fan. That's why he took the allegiance of the Flames. And in a hockey analogy, when you look at O'Neill's career, if his career was a shootout, he has scored goals in rounds 1 and 4 of his big league career. He missed the net entirely in rounds 2, 3, and 5. Last year, he basically fell backwards into the Zamboni. Hit the ball hard, but could not stay healthy. A little check swing roller from Jackson up the third base line. This could work out. Quick throw to first base. Gets away. Jackson's on his way to second base. The ball is in the right field. To third is O'Neill. And the Orioles have a little something cooking here. Second and third, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Boston has played great defense most of the year. In fact, only 3 errors in the last 3 weeks until that errant throw right there.
And it was exactly that, errant. It was an excuse-me swing that caught enough of the barrel that took it into fair territory, and then the charge by Durbin. Buried it in the dirt. Contreras couldn't corral it. Free 90 feet for the Orioles.
And a great chance for Taveras now. Left-hand batter will take on the outside corner, strike 1 from Weissert. There was a Bayshore, New York native, South Shore of Long Island. He was in the WBC this past spring with Italy. Memorably struck out Aaron Judge to save Italy's stunning win against Team USA. And out to the mound goes Wong to talk to Weissert. And if you're saying, wait a minute, the name Weissert is Italian? No. He qualified for Team Italy through his paternal grandmother. His family emigrated from Calabria. But Weissert himself, I mean, he's Italian, Wags, the way the Olive Garden restaurant is an Italian restaurant.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Now, he's given up some home runs this year already. Last year, that was not a thing. Taveras swings for the downs, doesn't get it. 0-2. Last year, no home runs allowed his final 16 appearances. This year, he allowed home runs in 3 of his first 7 appearances. Runners at second and third. 2 strikes to Taveras. The pitch is fouled straight back. That was the emergency 2-strike hack right there, a little late. And Taveras looking the part of this year's Aaron Hicks or Ramon Laureano, right? The veteran outfielder from whom you did not know what to expect. And you end up pleasantly surprised. Here's the pitch. Swinging at Scolf near first. Big friendly hop is played by Contreras. He'll run to his own bag. A run scores. The O's have a run. It is 7-1. Jackson on down to third. 15th RBI of the year for Taveras, and that's notable because last year he had 17 for the entire season. Tyler O'Neill touching home plate to spoil the shutout. Kobe Mayo coming up. Scorched one last time up. It was a line out to deep center. Also had a double back in the third. Weissert with the first one. A strike down around the shins. It's 0-1. Weissert with a lot of sinkers and sweepers. That's kind of his thing. 0-1 pitch. Wave and a miss. Here's that sweeper. A frisbee up there going from one corner of the plate to the other. Only one out and the infield back, so a gift-wrapped opportunity here for Mayo. Even a soft ground ball will play to run. Kicking the 0-2. That wanders outside. The sweeper again. O's now have Colton Cowser out on deck. Weissert in with a 1-2 swing, and it's fought foul back to the net. Cowser would hit for Blaze Alexander, and Cowser was showing signs of life right at the end of the road trip, right in Kansas City.
Really was, and he was handling pitches that were his demise to the first 3 or 4 weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, if you get Cowser hitting the changeup. Here's a 1-2 taken. And it's low, 2-2. Remember when they said in Happy Gilmore, Happy's learned how to putt. That's Cowser with changeups, right? I mean, if he can start hitting that pitch, now you got something. The 2-2 on its way, swinging a high fly ball that will not get the run in. It's up near the shortstop Story. Waiting under the rainbow, he makes the catch. Oh, you needed a deep fly ball or a little ground out. One of the two. You did not need a pop out. And Cowser will have his chance now. Runner at third, 2 away. 7-1 Boston our score. And they are mooing, not booing, of course, for Colton. That 2-hit game Wednesday is first of those since March 28th. Andrew Bailey, the pitching coach, on his way out just to have a little chat session about what to expect from Cowser. And to your point, Wags, yeah, the double on a fastball Wednesday, but I thought more encouraging, you're right, was the single on the changeup. Because he's developed that rep across his board now for not being able to hit that pitch. 145 was his batting average last year on that pitch. If he can change that narrative, that he can hit the off-speed stuff, he'll get what he really wants, which is those fastballs he got served up his rookie year. Old friend Danny Coulombe in the bullpen warming up for Boston right now. But as it stands, and it makes sense, Colton is the least likely hitter in the majors to see a fastball right now. 29% of the time. Well, let's see what Weissert's got for him with a runner at third and 2 out. First one is one of those frisbees going from left to right inside. It's 1-0. Overall this year for Cowser, yeah, it's been a struggle, hitting 189. No homers, 3 runs batted in. The pitch to the outside corner, breaking stuff, 1-1. You know who else is struggling, though, is the guy he's replacing. Ced Mullins in Tampa Bay has the worst on-base percentage of any qualifying player in the majors right now. It's 199. 7-1 Boston, the pitch taken under the hands for a strike. That one was a fastball, probably the only one he's going to see, 1-2. Colton came into the season trying to add length to his swing, holding his hands further out from his chest to make better contact on pitches away. He scrapped that for now. 1-2 coming. That's down and in. He started pulling his hands back towards him in the stance now, and the early returns have offered a kind of a flicker of hope that the batting average could be on the rise very soon. Runner at third and the 2 men out. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and it bends low. Working that count full. Top of the order, Taylor Ward on deck. Setting near the belt is Weissert, the right-hander. Kicks, fires, swing and a miss. He got Cowser on the changeup. And that retires the side. One man does score, one man left at third. On to the eighth we travel. It is Boston 7 and Baltimore 1 on the Orioles radio network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach.
This just in, this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the Baltimore Orioles. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. Nice job of keeping the Sox at bay for the most part. Albert Suarez going 4 innings in extremely long relief today. And now old friend Keegan Aiken is going to get out there on the mound for the first time as an Oriole this year. The top of the 8th about to begin. Here to tell you about it, here is Wags.
All right, thank you very much, Josh. Caleb Durbin, Connor Wong, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa against the 31-year-old left-hander. His first pitch of the season is inside, ball one. Good to have Keegan back. Somebody that the Orioles thought about relying on a lot, much like they have the last couple of seasons where he's pitched in over 60 games in each of 2024 and 25. Fastball in tight, and he falls behind 2 balls and no strikes on Durbin, who's had a busy day at the plate, going 1 for 2 with a walk, getting on base twice and scoring twice. 7-1 Boston. The pitch by Aiken. Fastball in tight. He's behind 3 balls and no strikes. Yesterday, Andrew Kittredge added. Today, Keegan Aiken added to bulk up the bullpen. 3-0. That's over for a called strike 1. Cameron Foster optioned back to AAA Norfolk after his first blush in the big leagues through the road trip last weekend, making his major league debut in Cleveland, pitching at Kansas City. And then last night in long relief, the 2-1, flipped out a play over the first base dugout. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sounds like Dietrich Enns will be available for the Orioles sometime this week. That'll give the Orioles 3 left-handed options in the bullpen. 3-2 coming, and a fastball fouled back. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff man here in the 8th. Caleb Durbin. Scoring open for the Red Sox against Trevor Rogers in the second inning when 3 came across. 1 added in the 4th. 3 more tacked on in the 5th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Welcome back, Keegan Aiken. After falling behind 3-0, you bounce back and strike out the first man that you face. Went right after him with a fastball. Got back in the at-bat and then punched him out with a 4-seamer. There's Connor Wong, who's come to life today, jumping out of an 0-for-7 rut. Doubled home 3 back in that 5th inning. And he swings and misses through the first pitch, strike 1.
Mentioned the last year he didn't have a double or an RBI until after the first day of summer. And then in that one swing, jackpot here today.
The pitch. Fastball over for a cold strike. 0-2.
That is a long time. If you're on a roster, April, May, and June, you go to the end of June without an extra base hit. I know he's not an everyday player, but you're not going to sneak in one double?
Infield, back outfield, playing straight up. The pitch. Tapped off the end of the bat, hopping in the middle of the diamond. Step to his right. Jackson's there to field. Throws on to first in time to retire Wong. 2 up and 2 set aside here in this 8th inning. Orioles, by the way, did keep Colton Cowser in the straight change for Blaze Alexander. So it's Cowser in left, Tavares and O'Neill, center and right field. No change on the diamond with Mayo, Henderson, Jackson, and Alonso taking us around the horn. 2 down in the 8th inning. 7-1 Boston. Kiner Falefa gets a first pitch strike. Kiner Falefa knocked in a run back in the 2nd inning. Aboard on a fielder's choice. Wiped a bag. Advanced on an error and came in. Also popped to second. Slider misses from Aiken, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One. Popped up. Foul ground, first base side, and over the screen out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kiner Falefa. Orioles and Red Sox will close out their 3-game series on Sunday afternoon with Kyle Bradish facing another left-hander and Connolly Early. 1-2. Fastball right there, strike 3 called. Welcome back, Keegan Aiken. A perfect return to the big leagues. 1-2-3 work here in the 8th. 7.5 gone by, 7-1. Boston leading in Baltimore on the Orioles radio network.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's Byrna, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. BetterHelp Online Therapy can provide the tools you need to navigate the emotional weight of financial stress and manage uncertainty with more confidence. See if therapy's for you. Visit BetterHelp.com/Let'sBegin for 10% off. That's BetterHelp.com.
MLB Plus is new for 2026. You can stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S., select out-of-market games every week. Plus, what we love the best, live radio broadcasts of every game. There's Game Day 3D, minor league action. Go to MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today.
That's Josh Loon. I'm Ben Wagner. Last of the 8th inning here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, with the Red Sox trying to even up this series at 1 game apiece. A 7-1 lead. Taylor Ward will come up and face a former Bird in Danny Coulombe. Now with the Boston Red Sox ready to pitch for the 54th time here in Charm City. Top of the card for Baltimore, Ward, Henderson, and Rutschman. Right-handed hitter. The pitch to Ward, swinging a line drive, base hit into left field. He cracked that one solidly on the very first pitch offered by Coulombe, and the Birds have their leadoff man aboard. This is a day that was started magnificently by Garrett Crochet and the Red Sox. Crochet, then to Greg Weissert in the 7th inning, allowed 1 unearned run, and now to Coulombe. Connor Henderson, the batter. Henderson, a tough day at the plate. He's been fanned all 3 times up. He swings and fouls the first pitch back lefty on lefty for strike 1. Danny Coulombe very much in the mind of Oriole fans when they're talking about building bullpen depth over the last couple of off seasons. He was available, but the Birds passed, and now he's in Boston this season. Gunnar takes a strike on the inside corner. And it was because he pitched in such a great season for the Orioles. He had his biggest year in one of the greatest regular seasons in Baltimore baseball history. That 2023 campaign where he pitched in 61 games en route to a 101-win season for the Orioles. Parts of two different campaigns here in Baltimore. The 0-2 to Henderson, fouled away at home plate. All told, 94 ball games in orange and black, a sub-1 whip. In 2024, landed on the injured list in the middle of June with left elbow inflammation. That eventually led to surgery. And then Coulomb in the comeback trail. 0-2 again. Henderson hits it weakly up the first baseline. In to grab it, waiting in the baseline is Contreras. He applies the tag softly onto the belt buckle of Gunnar Henderson to get the out. Ward will take second base. 3-out assisted on the tap out. Here comes Adley Rutschman. Rutschman today is 1 for 3. Has a runner at second with the Orioles down 6 runs here in the 8th. Here's the pitch. Takes a strike on the inside corner, batting right-handed. Coulomb, if you start to peel back the seasons, leads left-handed pitching relievers with a 241 earned run average if you go back to the start of 2022. Lefty fires low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now 36 years of age. Anchors on the slab. Looks back at the runner at second. And the 1-1 pitch. Fastball is very high. 2 balls and 1 strike on the number 3 hitter. With Pete Alonso out on deck. Two-one. Curveball line drive. Caught at third base by the lunging Durbin. Looks at second. Makes no throw. Good read by Taylor Ward. Not drifting too far in scoring position. He froze on a frozen rope that was handled on the backhand by Durbin at third base. And there are 2 down. Quick look at the Johns Hopkins Medicine out-of-town scoreboard. A nugget from the minor leagues. Enrique Bradfield Jr. was in Baltimore having his hand examined by club doctors this week. He lands on the injured list after colliding with the outfield wall in AAA Norfolk. So tough news with him landing on the injured list for the next 7 days.
Such an exciting player. And once healthy, a pretty good bet to come up here at some point this summer.
Pete Alonso gets the first pitch strike. The next, poked out a play off to the right. 0-2. The Johns Hopkins Medicine out-of-town scoreboard. The Johns Hopkins Proton Therapy Center at Sibley Memorial in D.C. delivers cancer-defeating precision with less side effects and easier recovery. Find out more at hopkinsproton.org. 0-2 to Alonso, buried in the dirt.
You mentioned the out-of-town scoreboard. The Mets won't play today. They've already rained out their game because they did not do what the Orioles proactively did, which is move things up to beat the rain.
I got to hand it to Major League Baseball and clubs just using technology to their benefit.
Yeah.
If it looks bad, odds are it's going to be bad.
Right.
The 1-2, fouled away, third base side.
The Yankees are at the Astros tonight. One team is 17-9, winners of 7 straight. That's the Yanks. The Astros, who come here next, they're 10-17. Their pitching is a mess. Their starting rotation, Wags, has a combined ERA of 6.2.
That series starts on Tuesday right here at the ballpark. Pitch to Alonso, rides high.
Yankees, meantime, with that 7-game win streak, they've outscored their opponents 48-13 in those 7 games. 3 of those games were against these Red Sox.
Next weekend, guess where the Orioles are? In the Bronx to take on the New York Yankees.
For 4.
Wraparound series. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Alonso's down on strikes, and the side is retired. Can't do anything with the leadoff single by Taylor Ward. He's left in scoring position, and we're off to the 9th, where it's 7-1 Boston over the Orioles.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. Therapy can provide the tools you need.
That's wise.
This ninth inning is being brought to you by SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of the Baltimore Orioles. Red Sox living large on the power of a 3-run second and a 3-run fifth. Now 7-1, moving into the ninth inning with Cedar Rafaela facing Keegan Aiken. Aiken in his debut this season whips the first pitch in there for a called strike one. 14 times last year, Aiken was asked to go more than one inning of relief. The pitch. Lined out a play to the right. No balls and 2 strikes. While the Red Sox leadoff man has snapped an 0 for 13 with an RBI single in that 3-run second inning. Worked a walk and then got caught stealing in the fourth. So officially 1 for 3. The pitch flared beyond the first base dugout, out of play.
Suddenly the Red Sox 0 for their last 11 in this game. They had the 2 flare-ups, right? Second inning, 5th inning. It's been a very quiet afternoon for them otherwise.
Since the Connor Wong bases clearing 3-run double, Albert Suarez settled in, retired the last 8 that he faced, and now 3 in a row retired by Aiken. And a battle with Rafaela as he sends another one out of play up the right field line. Seven to 1, Boston. The pitch by Aiken. On a line out to right field, backing up O'Neill into the warning track, turning him around, and he'll have to play it off the wall. And it shoots back past him into short right field. Running for third goes Rafaela. The throw by O'Neill on a bounce is late. That ball was sizzled the opposite way by Cedar Rafaela, who has outstanding speed. And he was off to the races, knowing that high wall would deny him a round tripper, but likely end up as a base hit. And when that ball careened off of the wall in right field away from Tyler O'Neill, he put his head down and he was racing for an extra 90 feet, and he ends up with a triple.
Well, Tyler O'Neill, remember, is a Gold Glove winner. He knows how to play defense, but that's twice in this game, Wags, where we've seen a ball thump against the wall.
First pitch in on Contreras, a called strike.
And I know he's got to be careful. He's coming off the concussion protocol. Last thing you want to do, even for a former hockey player, is to go headlong into a wall like that. But he's had a couple chances.
0-1 outside. A ball and a strike on Contreras.
The Wong 3-run double you were just talking about, he played it safe there. Played that one safe. And again, that's not to nitpick or not to criticize, just saying what we see.
1-1 with the infield in is a broken bat liner into left field, a base hit. A triple immediately leads to the 8th run of the afternoon for the Red Sox. RBI base hit by Wilson Contreras. His first hit of the afternoon. That snaps a long offer that had stretched to 0 for 16. Had a sacrifice fly that got a run in earlier. He drives in his second of the day.
On that triple from Rafaela, I think O'Neill, if he was just a couple steps more towards center, would have actually lined it up.
Lefty on lefty with Aiken and Abreu. Down and away.
That ball was kind of twisting. I think he was under the impression it would keep on twisting because there were a lot of foul balls in that at bat where the English was exactly that. The ball would get to the right.
Line drive straight away center field. Down for a base hit in front of Taveras. Station to station for Contreras. 3 consecutive batters have reached for the Red Sox.
But I guess the point is, Wags, because that ball was literally only 3 feet up on the wall, I think if Tyler's in position to where that ball is actually going to land, he doesn't have to turn around and play it off the wall. I think he intercepts it before it gets to the wall. And honestly, I don't know that he could have done that on the Connor Wong one. But on that one, I think it's true.
The result, 1 run in. Now 2 on, nobody out for Trevor Story, who gets a first pitch strike. Aiken and the O's need something on the ground. The 0-1. Missed low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Story today, 0 for 4. Got a board on a fielding error back in the 5th inning. One. Humpback liner into right field. That's down for a base hit. Stop sign up at third. Everybody moving up with O'Neill's throw coming all the way to the plate. That's 4 batters, 4 base hits, 3 straight singles to load the bases.
Yeah, so much for that 0 for 11 limping towards the finish line here for Boston. Your knucklehead announcer, me, brings that up, and then it's 4 for 4 for Boston right away. Great opportunity now for Monasterio, who's already had the 2 doubles.
Monasterio doubled and scored in the 2nd inning, doubled but stranded in the 3rd. And then sacrifices the bat, still got a board in 5th, and came in and played it another run. Drew French on his way out to the mound. He's going to have a visit with Keegan Aiken and buy a little time for Rico Garcia, who continues to twirl in the bullpen.
Oh, you mentioned it, Wags. The 8th inning was so nice and clean and easy looking for Keegan. And I'm sure the Orioles thinking, yeah, I mean, we got 4 innings out of Suarez out of necessity. Let's go with 2 for Keegan Aiken. He's ready. He can shoulder that. But top of the order just looks a lot different than the bottom of this order for Boston.
This might be his last challenger because his pitch count now elevating near 30 pitches, which is usually the sweet spot between staying in a ball game or leaving it. And on his first test drive in the regular season, can't imagine that you would really want to push the body. Red Sox leading 8-1. Bases loaded around Aiken. Monasterio takes a first pitch strike. Aiken to the plate. Sinks it low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Monasterio. Exhale by the left-hander. Hands together. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, left center field. Hit pretty well. Taveras stopped in front of the bullpen, and it is gone. Andrew Monasterio with his first as a Red Sox is a grand slam. It's a 5 spot here in the 9th, and the Red Sox have blown it open, leading 12-1.
That's a guy that has not been playing much at all, just looking for an opportunity to prove himself with a new team. How about 2 doubles and a grand slam today? Not only hadn't the Red Sox had a grand slam this year, they hadn't had a 3-run home run.
Dozen runs on 12 hits. Still nobody out here in this 9th. And Jaron Duran will go lefty on lefty.
They put the Wally the Green Monster head on the Monasterio in that dugout with his first career grand slam.
First pitch to Duran was a ball, and then he pokes the second pitch into left field, a base hit. Kauser hustles over to cut it off next to the line. Gets it back in quickly. Another base hit for Boston, and this will force manager Craig Albernaz off the top step of the dugout.
Boston, a team that had scored, 6 runs in its last 4 games. They've got 5 in the 9th inning right here and 12 for the afternoon.
And it looks like the Orioles will go to a position player here with their pitching change because Boston has taken a +10 lead, so the Orioles now can go to a position player in this 12-1 contest. Nobody out here in this ninth inning, a runner at first base. And this pitching change brought to you by the auto loan experts at Point Breeze Credit Union, celebrating 90 years in your neighborhood. Back at the ballpark in a moment, right after this on the Orioles.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's BYRNA, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. Therapy can provide the tools you need.
Real fresh, real fast.
Weston Wilson will make his 4th career pitching appearance for the Orioles today, and his first pitch glides in a called strike. A 44-mile-an-hour defined as the eephus pitch. The second, swing and a miss by Caleb Durbin. Well, this is signs of encouragement for Weston Wilson, who has been deployed to salvage at least an inning for this Orioles bullpen.
They did this very, very well for the Phillies, as you hinted at, Wags.
The 0-2, swinging a high fly ball up the line in left, hooking into the corner. Cowser back, and it is gone. It'll slip over the top of the wall, down the left field line. Caleb Durbin, after looking foolish against the position player in the first 2 pitches, connects for his first as a Boston Red Sox, a 2-run home run.
Yeah,
and 14-1.
One eephus too many. And the guy that had never allowed a run in those 4 innings of big league work on the mound. He was pitching in extreme mop-up twice last year, once the year before.
Wilson to work on Connor Wong. This is in tight with ball 1. 14-1. A 7th spot here in the 9th that started to unravel with a leadoff triple. Wilson to Wong. And this is upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Wilson deals again. Humpback liner fading near the line in right field, and that will drop foul. Just foul. Well, the primary objective here is don't air out your arm. Just try to get it over the plate, see if the atom ball will work for Weston Wilson, and preserve at least one bullpen arm in this situation and save it for another day. The Maryland Energy Administration is circling every save in the scorebook this season to remind Marylanders to save money with clean energy. Learn more at energy.maryland.gov. Pop up, short center field. Jackson going back, he's there, and he makes the play to retire Connor Wong. 1 down.
When we're talking about the eephus pitch, we're talking in the mid-40s for miles an hour. The one that was hit out by Durbin was actually at 44 miles an hour. And this has been a thing since the 1940s. Rip Sewell is credited with, quote-unquote, inventing this pitch.
Pitch misses high. Ball 1 on Connor Falefa.
And it really is more of a straight lob than a pitch, right? I mean, it's just kind of, here you go. And you're just trying to upset timing, like you suggest.
It's like a granny shot from the free throw line.
Yep.
There's one that cruises down and away. 44, 47 miles an hour. We're watching the data pop up on the big video board. Next pitch, whacked on a line into left field. That's down for a base hit by Kiner Falefa. Kiner Falefa is aboard for the third different time today. He's got his second hit. And that'll bring up the 10th batter of this ninth inning. And Cedon Rafaela, who opened it with a triple off the wall and right.
And going back to something you were talking about earlier, Wags, and it just seems to happen so often in this sport, is just how quickly vibes can change.
Pitch down and away on Rafaela, ball one.
We had such a party here last night. 6 home runs, 20 hits.
The pitch. Inside corner called strike.
Now, of course, this afternoon it was always going to be difficult with Garrett Crochet on the mound for Boston, but nobody saw 14-1.
Pitch in tight. 2 balls and 1 strike. 14 runs on 15 hits. And of course, getting uglier here in the ninth. Pitch by Wilson must have missed low. 3-1.
Well, the Red Sox have more runs in this inning than they had in their previous 33.
Here's a line drive into right center field. That's a base hit into the alley. Rounding second on his way to third goes Kiner Falefa on the base hit by Rafaela. He's got a 3-hit afternoon. Red Sox with runners at first and third and still 1 down here in this ninth. Here comes Wilson Contreras. Pitched by Weston Wilson. In for a called strike 1 on Contreras. 5 different times, or at least 5 different players last season appeared in a ball game pitching as a position player. Contreras, he drives one out to the bullpens in left center field, and there's another home run that lands on top of the orange umbrella. Contreras drills his 5th of the season. A 3-run home run by Wilson Contreras here in the ninth inning. And now it's a double-figure production in the ninth alone, and the Red Sox have opened up a 17-1 lead.
Yeah, 10 in the ninth is not what we saw coming. After the Orioles had 10 for the ball game yesterday, and again, confetti was in the air because of it. Yikes, 17.
Still 1 down. Pitch from Wilson in for a called strike. Pitch outside on Abreu. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I guess with distance is when you're able to say, well, these are easier to just get out of your head.
There's a fly ball to right field. O'Neill racing in, slides, and he makes the play. Feet first slide, stopping himself, pinning the knee into the outfield grass. He turns in today's best play on grass. If you're looking for an easy upgrade for your lawn this season, go with Pennington Grass Seed, the official partner of the Baltimore Orioles grounds crew. Pennington Grass Seed, the grass is greener. 17-1 Red Sox. Pitch outside to Trevor Story with 2 down. Ground ball towards third. Backhanded pickup by Mayo. Shuffle step, fires to first. Wide throw, pulls Alonso off the bag. Story is safe. An errant throw made by Mayo.
Have not seen that a lot from Mayo. There was a big worry in spring training we would see that, but he's actually been very good at third base. This is just one of these games where the wheels have come off of everything. I mean, it started with Rogers needing 42 pitches in the second inning and not even getting out of that second inning.
Andrew Monasterio bats, 15th hitter of this ninth inning. Pitch in for a cold strike.
Orioles committing 3 errors in this one.
A second strike on Monasterio.
Ton of walks. And, yeah, I mean, everything that could go wrong went wrong today.
There's a fly ball, shallow right center field, charging in. O'Neill again, sprints into place, makes the play on Monasterio, and that will retire the side. Top of the ninth inning, a 10 spot for the Red Sox. They lead at 17-1, moving into the bottom of the ninth on the Orioles radio.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. Better
Tyler Samaniego on to pitch for the Boston Red Sox, the lefty reliever making his 6th appearance of the season, and he has been staked to a 16-run lead, 17-1. The Red Sox leading this one. Tyler O'Neill, Jeremiah Jackson, and Leody Taveras coming to the plate.
Well, you know what they say, no 16-run lead is safe with Tyler Samaniego in it now. This guy's going to finish it up, and the Orioles are going to live to see another day. It's just one game out of 162. But as we were talking about, Wags, it's so much easier to tell yourself that a little after a game like this.
Pitch to Tyler O'Neill is a fastball called strike from the new left-hander.
When you're in the crosshairs of it, this is just not fun. I mean, you're losing in front of your home crowd 17-1.
Samaniego deals, and the pitch darts in for a called strike. Fastball first, changeup second for a guy that's just back in the big leagues after being recalled Tuesday.
Where in the world is Tyler Samaniego? You just figured it out for us.
Yeah. The pitch inside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think when you look at a game like this, Wags, I mean, you look at silly stats like the Orioles that allowed only 6 runs in the 9th all year. They just allowed 10.
1-2, bounce to the plate. Evens the count on O'Neill at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The Red Sox had only scored 4 in 9th innings. They just got 10.
The twists and turns of a Major League Baseball season, and the oddities included.
Yep, it's going to happen to everybody.
(17-1) Boston. The pitch. O'Neill, Jackson high in the air, out to left center field. It's playable. Duran drifts to his left in front of the track, makes the play, and there's one down here in the 9th.
The one thing you fear, because there's still one game left, obviously, in this series, is tomorrow. You didn't want to see guys like Rafaela and Contreras start to get hot, because they're capable of that. And sure enough, Rafaela 3 for 5 today, Contreras 2 for 4, the long home run. Granted, it was off a position player, but 5 runs batted in for Contreras. Monasterio, a 4 RBI game because of the grand slam.
Here's Jeremiah Jackson. Samaniego's first pitch has popped out a play off to the right for strike 1.
Caleb Durbin had scored 3 runs in 3.5 weeks. He's got 3 this afternoon. So a lot of Red Sox getting healthy at the O's expense today.
Well, hopefully the equalizer stands on the hill tomorrow afternoon. And Kyle Bradish, 0-1. Popped out a play again beyond the first base dugout. Jackson in the hole 0-2. Broadcast coverage on your Sunday afternoon scheduled for 1 o'clock. 1:35 first pitch.
That's why their starter is named Early. Conley early against Bradish. He would have been good today, actually, for the noon start.
That would have been the short straw. Change up outside, 1-2.
The Red Sox have thrown 70 fewer pitches than the Orioles have today.
That's just not a byproduct of what happened in the 9th. 1-2. On the ground, out to second. Waiting on it. Kiner Falefa whips the throw to first in time, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, Rogers needed 62 pitches to get 5 outs. And as we know, there are games where Rogers can get 5 outs on something like 15 or 18 pitches. So right from the jump today, it just didn't feel right. Then you add on the 3 errors and just on and on today. It just was one of those days.
By the way, Marcelo Meyer has checked into the ballgame for Trevor Story. He's now at second. Connor Falefa has gone over to play short. With 2 down here in this bottom of the ninth, Leody Taveras gets a first pitch strike. Oh, 1. That's low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Leody Taveras. Boy, the card on one side of my book is wild and crazy and scribbled. The other one's pretty even and clean. 1-1. In the air, straightaway center field. Rafaela has it lined up. He's there, makes the